Good evening, folks. Welcome back to my channel again. I'm Cemil Turan, and in today's video, I'm going to mainly discuss how 5-alpha reductase inhibitors can make you go bald, especially with their concurrent use with nandrolone, also known as DECA. And let's begin. So, before going deep diving into the nerd stuff, we have to understand how the 5-alpha reductase inhibitors work, what their mechanism of action. And 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, like finasteride and dutasteride, they inhibit the conversion of testosterone to dihydrotestosterone via inhibition of 5-alpha reductase enzyme. And that's the key enzyme that converts testosterone to dihydrotestosterone. And this 5-alpha reductase enzyme also converts certain neurosteroids like derived from progesterone. So, for example, 3-alpha reduced progesterone gets further 5-alpha reduction, and it becomes allopregnanolone. And the finasteride inhibits the conversion of testosterone to dihydrotestosterone, thus you have less DHT in your bloodstream. And there are certain indications of 5-alpha, certain indications for prescribing 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, such as benign prostatic hyperplasia or androgenic alopecia. For example, finasteride is approved by FDA for use in male pattern baldness in males. With 1 milligram a day. While dutasteride is not approved by FDA, but it is approved in Japan and Korea for male pattern hair loss. And the dosage for benign prostatic hyperplasia for finasteride is 5 milligram, and for dutasteride it is half milligram. It's 0.5 milligram. And there are certain, also there is no free ride, as I always tell you guys, and there are possible side effects of 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, such as gynecomastia, libido problems, depression, psychiatric. They can sometimes, although it's quite rare, it can trigger psychiatric disorders, or it can exacerbate those diseases too. And as I've said, the main purpose of this video is explaining how you can get more side effect when the main purpose of this video is to show you guys that the main side effect, how harsh side effects you can get via combining the nandrolone and finasteride or dutasteride. And 19-nor family is a unique family in terms of its place in anabolic androgenic anabolic family tree. And as we know, 19-nors either don't convert to 5-alpha reductase forms. They are not 5-alpha reducible. For example, trembolone. It is also why it is sometimes called steroidal SARM, because it cannot convert to estrogen and DHT or 5-alpha reduced form. And the other example is sometimes, or they cannot get 5-alpha reduced, or sometimes when they get 5-alpha reduced, their androgenicity do not increase, as opposed to testosterone, which 5-alpha reduction increases its androgenicity. And for example, the trestolone, also known as MENT, is a great example for that, because 5-alpha reduced form of MENT is not more androgenic. It has roughly the same androgenicity. And the other example is nandrolone. And sometimes 19-nors, when they get 5-alpha reduced, they have even less androgenicity. And nandrolone is a perfect example for this, because 5-alpha dihydronandrolone has less binding affinity for androgen receptor and has less androgenicity. And here is how can they make you go bald. DHT, 5-alpha reduced form of testosterone, is a much potent androgen. Not so much for myotropic effect, it's a quite weak myotropic agent because of the 3-alpha reduction that takes place in skeletal muscle mostly, which deactivates the DHT. But still, for other tissues, DHT is a much potent androgen and it has a much higher androgenic effect. But for nandrolone, as I've said, it converts to a much less potent androgen. So the hydronandrolone is less androgenic than its parent compound. And as you can see in this chart that I took from a great 1995 study, that they made castrated rodents consume finasteride with the concurrent androgen simulation. And as you see, they have a baseline of 100 with 3 different androgens such as testosterone, 19-nortestosterone, and MENT. And with the at the beginning, you can see that their ventral prostate was almost identical with 3 different agents, although the dosage were different. But with the introduction of the 5-alpha reductase inhibitor, Finastaride, as you can see, testosterone's androgenicity or ventral prostate stimulatory effects almost halved. But on the contrary, with 19-nortestosterone, it almost increased by 50%. And with the MENT, it almost didn't change. And long story short, you might ask, so what's the upshot? The upshot is combination of dutasteride or finasteride with decadrabolin is not a good idea. It can make you lose more hair if you're already losing, or it might make you grow more body hair or more facial hair if you're a female somehow decided to use a combination of dutasteride and finasteride, and it can make your prostate bigger if you already have prostate issues. So, but it's not the but the combination of nandrolone and nandrolone with 5-alpha reductase inhibitors does not tell the whole story, because 5-alpha reductase not only don't work with 19-nortestosterone, they don't work either with DHT derivatives and with other 19-nors or with SARMs. Here is why. DHT derivatives are, as you can guess by their name, they are DHT derived. They are already 5-alpha reduced, so they cannot go under another step of 5-alpha reduction. Because of that, so for example, using finasteride on oxandrolone cycle, oxandrolone monotherapy or oxandrolone only cycle is completely useless. Although I'm not a fan of oxandrolone only cycle, by the way. And with nandrolone cycles, 5-alpha reductase inhibitors either won't work or make everything worse. Such as you get no effect with trembolone, and sometimes, for example, with combination of nandrolone, you get even worse side effects. And with SARMs, you don't get side effects. Why? SARMs do not have steroidal skeleton. That's why. And also, 5-alpha reductase inhibition is just one side of a coin. You might inhibit your DHT production by 70 to 100% depending on what agent or how much dose you take a day, but you're gonna still have testosterone in your bloodstream and your scalp that is still going to bind to androgen receptors, although to a smaller degree. But on the other hand, you have much higher serum concentration of testosterone already in your bloodstream. So if you are already prone to hair loss, if you already have hair loss problem, you may still lose your hair with finasteride if you are one of those unlucky ones. And keep in mind that finasteride sometimes, not sometimes, almost all the time, increases your prostate testosterone concentrations by several fold. You heard me right. It increases prostate testosterone concentrations by several fold, and at the same time it increases your scalp testosterone concentration by roughly 25 to 50%. The final verdict is using finasteride and dutasteride in combination with nandrolone is not a good idea. It's probably one of the worst decisions you can make. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to comment, share, and please subscribe to my channel. And again, I would like to, if you have any bad or good experience with finasteride, dutasteride, or with nandrolone, or the combination of both, please let me know. You can please comment down below. And as always, guys, thank you guys for watching, and till next time, take care and have a great day.